just going to get some pants for the baby boy. So that he stays warm. We should move down here into this basement. That's what we should do. Oh, that's not plugged in. That was plugged in. This one will work. There's lights down here, but they're like spread out. Individual basement lights. They claim to see apparitions down here. People, they have things happen to them down here. They run into people. They affect them. It's interesting. The family that God has chosen to put me in. My beautiful bride to be. We'll be married soon. It's just taking the time we need to. It's good for Forrest and us, and we want to do it out of love, not out of obligation. And it's a very real thing to me, knowing that I'm gonna call this woman mine, and she's gonna call me her man. It's pretty incredible to think about how God gives us these pairs, these compliments. And the world is interesting when it comes to compliments. People, throughout history, they just haven't, they don't have enough with one person. I've never found one person to not be enough. It was always my inadequacy, my something of self, and it was just like I wasn't very wise in my hunt for love, and I don't think anyone is. I don't think anyone is wise in their hunt for love, and if they do all the right things, they still can get their heart broken. And Rebecca and I have broken each other's hearts time and time again, but the thing is, we know that our hearts were already broken. We just, when the right person steps into your heart, where it used to hurt, it doesn't hurt the same way it did. It's just achy. It's healing. I talk about healing, and God doesn't just give us to these fleshly ailments for no reason. There is relative, immediate, I would say within our lifetime, understandings, things that happen, lessons that we learn. Christ talked in parables. He told little stories in order to disguise what he was saying to most. And the people that were really listening, that were meant to hear it, that God had given the hearing and understanding, those people really understood what he was saying. A lot of the religious people, they didn't understand what Christ was saying. Some of them did. Like Nicodemus asked, how can a man be born again? Should he go into his mother, enter back into the womb? And Christ is like, are you serious, dude? You were already born. You don't, this is a new creation. What he's given us in grace. What he gave Nicodemus was the idea and realization of, hey, what you are now is what you will not always be. But you have to be this in order to be that. There's a new life, a new creation. We know about the new humanity. The old humanity is crucified, dead. It's the body of sin. It's the knowledge of good and evil, and the unawareness of what to do with it. God knows what to do with it. He's absolute and sovereign. Humans are relative, and it's good that we're relative. We need to relate to understand things. You watch a baby. Babies will show you so much just on how they relate to their environment. Whether they have food, want food, need food, have warmth, just have love and attention. We all can benefit from love and attention and warmth and food. And he gets a lot of it from everyone around him. He's in the perfect environment of love. If I could just find him some pants. Because it is getting chilly here in Iowa. The house temp is sitting at like... Oh, that's a big outfit. 6 months? Is he going to fit in this? It might be too small. We'll see. He's kind of short, but he's good on his weight. If he's anything like me or his mom, he'll kind of just be like somewhat bigger than some kids, but mostly just shorter. I'll take him all. He's so advantageous. He loves to go and play and laugh, and I'm gonna see if this fits him. If it doesn't, that's alright. We gotta go get him some clothes. Is what's gotta happen. We're gonna look upstairs, see if we got any small pants. This is the outfit for a forest that might work. Little monkey, little nanner. It's got monkey boots. It might be too small. It might be just enough to rock for now. I know this outfit works. It ain't clean. Morgana's been sleeping on it. Let's see if this one fits. Alright. Well. Oh, one thing I want to talk about, and it's not even a big deal. It's just our words and what they mean and what we say. And I had a conversation with Zachary Land. Zach, love you, bro. I have a boogie. I got it. He sent a message to me, and he talked in it. He's like, "Hey, you think this is like good to post?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, it's very good." There's just one thing that he said that I hear people saying, people say it in their writing, and they say it out loud too. They say the power of the cross, and I know what they mean. And what he said to me afterwards made a lot of sense. He said, "The cross is stupidity to the world. The crucifixion of Christ is stupidity to the world. No one sees the wisdom in it. What's the point of that guy dying? One guy, really? What's the big deal? Why for me?" Like all that kind of stuff. Christ died once for all time. Said and done by God. Only God could kill him and make him alive. That's what he does. That's what God does. He's the life and breath and all. So I just thought about that. The power of the cross. Not that there's power in the cross, but in God, in the ability to kill and make his son alive. To kill him, make him not exist. For a purpose, to put sin to death. That sin would be non-existent. If death is non-existence, sin does not exist. And we are deemed new creation in Christ by God. A reflective image, perfect image that reflects God. If God's invisible, he's a source of light and life and glory and blessings and all things that are of the Spirit of God. It's like the Spirit is the happening, the display. God is Spirit. He's pneuma. He's like the wind. How do you explain it? You just breathe air. You know when the air is the way it is. You're breathing it. The trees around you have a purpose. The algae in the ocean has a purpose. It's an amazing respiratory system, this world. Even though it's on its last lung, it'll be made new. The earth is going to be regenerative in the oncoming eon, in the fourth eon, in the fifth eon. Oh, it's amazing. People are going to eat from the log of life. You'll eat once a month and be sustained. Think about how nourishing that food is. Think about how good the world's state of being is going to be. We're like down here. Christ are off the charts. We're nothing to the world. We're dead to the world. Where Christ is off the charts. And where the eons are going, they're beautiful. They're leading up to the consummation. And we will be pretty much at the consummation in vivifying spirit, in the knowledge and fullness of Christ. As he is. When we see him, we'll be as he is. That's our expectation. That's where we leave it. I gotta go get the boy warm. I just had to drop this message on you. Zachary, I don't know where you're posting that message, but it's beautiful. He wrote it out and sent it to me. Yeah, the power of the cross. The stupidity of the cross is the stupidity of the heralding. It's weak, ignoble, and contemptible, and stupid people that are elected to do this. Of that ilk. And the interesting part is we give a message of grace and conciliation and peace. And the root of grace in Greek is joy. We have joy, and we give joy, and we reflect joy. We walk in prepared steps of illumination. We just do it. It's given. So go. Stay crush. Herald. Keep heralding. Like Zachary writing that out, that's heralding. That's beautiful. Herald that someone would hear it, that they would read it, that a braille person would feel it out. A braille person, would I just say that? Someone blind could hear me right now. But if they felt the braille. Imagine that. It's like Martin working on a book, the Roman series. There was an inscription made back nearly to the day of Paul, of people who took his words from the letters sent out to these individual churches of Corinth, of the letters to Timothy, the Philippi, all these people that understood the message, the wow message. They inscribed it into the stone. Good words, heralding that it's all of Christ. It's all of God through Christ. No, we may not be born the begotten Son, but in the new creation, in the new humanity, reflecting Christ and God, we're made to be so. Don't consider yourself anything of this world, but of God, who gives you to this world that you would be a retainer, as Paul calls us to be. Alright, I gotta get going, guys. Like salt of the earth, we preserve, we're spread out. Just enough. Too much salt. There's just enough. Grace, love, and peace. Love y'all.